Just when you thought Freddy Krueger's nightmarish incursions couldn't be more bone-chilling, they're seemingly based on real events. Prepare to journey through where dreams collide with terrifying reality. The real-life events. Between 1978 and 1981, a haunting sequence of events unfolded, claiming the lives of 13 young men as they lay asleep. Startlingly, these men cried out in their sleep and never woke up. Almost all of these inexplicable deaths occurred between the eerie hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. As if this chilling scenario wasn't alarming enough, the year 1981 saw an even more devastating toll. A total of 26 men succumbed to the same inexplicable fate. Nothing seemed to be wrong with them before they suddenly died. This mysterious ailment was eventually coined as sudden, unexplained nocturnal death syndrome. It predominantly afflicted young men, aged between 20 and 30, from the Hmong ethnic group. These individuals, once recruited by the CIA to combat the North Vietnamese during the Vietnam War, found themselves persecuted upon returning to Laos. These are all healthy men with no previous symptoms. The average age was 33. The situation is almost always the same. It only occurs in men and it only occurs in their sleep. The report is that they cry out and die or are found dead the next morning, says Dr. Robert Kirshner, an associate professor of pathology at the University of Chicago. As autopsy offered little, Dr. Friedrich Eckner's scrutiny of the victims' hearts uncovered a haunting truth. All 18 hearts revealed abnormalities. The fibers crucial for transmitting brain impulses to the heart were frayed and twisted, as if, Kirshner says, their hearts just shorted out. The movie. In A Nightmare on Elm Street, a group of Midwestern teenagers faces a chilling fate. Haunted by Freddy Krueger, a scarred and malevolent figure who hunts them in their dreams. Krueger's dream attacks become lethal, causing actual fatalities. The only defense against this sinister force is to resist sleep at any cost. Otherwise, Freddy's coming for you. You can see the similarity here, right? Craven found inspiration for the Dream Killer when he stumbled upon an article in the LA Times. It narrated the harrowing ordeal of a Cambodian family seeking refuge in America from the mass genocide of the Killing Fields. Their arrival in the United States seemed hopeful until tragedy struck. The young boy in the family was terrified to sleep because he felt that if he slept, he would be killed by something or perhaps someone chasing him. He forced himself to stay awake for days at a time, but eventually, he died in the middle of a nightmare. This became the basis for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Craven told Cinefantastic magazine that it also wasn't the only article that he saw. Craven pitched his concept to Hollywood, facing widespread rejection from numerous directors and production studios, including Universal Studios. In an oral history of A Nightmare on Elm Street, by Vulture, Craven revealed keeping Universal's rejection letter proudly displayed on his wall. Numerous voices cautioned Craven against pursuing the film due to its unconventional plot premise. Critics reasoned that while everyone experiences nightmares, the idea of a knife-fingered maniac attacking within one was too far-fetched for acceptance. However, Bob Shaye, the eventual producer of A Nightmare on Elm Street, held a divergent perspective. When Shaye met Craven, he embraced the concept wholeheartedly. Together, they outlined a budget of $700,000 to bring the vision to life. Interestingly, a significant portion of this budget came from a Yugoslavian investor, driven by his desire to cast his girlfriend in the movie. Wes Craven's childhood. The eerie narrative of the movie wasn't solely inspired by the mysterious disease. Producer Wes Craven's own childhood experiences also left an indelible mark on the creation of Freddy and the movie's storylines. "I came from a very religious background," Craven said in 1984. "As fundamentalist Baptists, we were sequestered from the rest of the world. You couldn't dance or drink or go to the movies. The first time I paid to see a movie, To Kill a Mockingbird, I was a senior in college. My whole youth was based on suppression of emotion. As they say in psychological circles, my family never got in touch with their rage. So making movies, these awful horror movies, no less, was, I guess, my way of purging this rage." Craven's traumas had a lasting impact on the artist's interests, particularly in themes concerning death and religion. For Craven, his upbringing showed him the dangers of repression and trying to shut out the darkness of the world. In a striking contrast to Craven's strict upbringing, Wes Craven understood that everyone has to start somewhere, and he embarked on his journey in the 1970s by working on adult films in New York City. While he never officially directed any adult films under his own name, He acknowledged his involvement in the industry, using various pseudonyms. These experiences within the adult entertainment industry laid the groundwork for his future artistic endeavors. The creation of Krueger. Freddy himself was inspired by various other experiences Craven had throughout his childhood as well. One particularly chilling incident left an indelible mark when Craven, a small child at the time, encountered a disturbing old man wearing a fedora outside his window. The drunk man abruptly awakened Craven from sleep, staring intensely into the young boy's eyes through the window. Terrified by the encounter, the child hid in his room, fearing for what felt like an eternity. When he cautiously approached the window again, he saw the man still lingering, before slowly walking away while maintaining an unsettling gaze in the direction of his apartment entrance. Although the event concluded without further incident, Craven couldn't shake off the chilling sensation. The idea of an adult who was frightening and enjoyed terrifying a child was the origin of Freddy, he said. The serial killer's name, meanwhile, was directly influenced by the director's childhood bully, Fred Krueger. Craven faced a unique challenge in dressing Freddy Krueger. He aimed to create a look so unmistakable that viewers could instantly recognize Freddy, even when he assumed different forms. Craven seemed to instinctively understand something branding experts harp on about today, that the right color scheme can create a look so recognizable, audiences automatically associate it with the thing they're meant to. Craven had read a Scientific American article that stated, red and green together is the most difficult color combination for the human eye to see together. Craven intended these colors to be Freddy's distinctive signature, facilitating instant recognition for the shape-shifting character. A symbolic reference to this choice appears at the end of the original A Nightmare on Elm Street, where the kids drive off in a convertible with a red and green striped roof, hinting at a potentially ominous conclusion for them. A Nightmare on Elm Street isn't merely a film, it's a chilling fusion of truth and imagination. What do you think? Does reality shape our worst nightmares, or do our nightmares shape our reality?